Heather Mcdonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Whoop whoop. Heather Mcdonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have return favorite Lala Kent. Oh, Lala, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I had a fantastic Thanksgiving. It was great. We just went to Jackson Brittany's.
Oh, good.
I didn't have to make one single thing. I didn't have to help set up. I didn't have to help
bring anything?
My mom made her sweet potatoes, but I didn't help with that.
Okay.
And I brought pies, store-bought.
Okay, what kind did you bring?
We brought pecan and pumpkin.
Cute.
Which was great because by the time it was dinner, or dinner was over and it was dessert time.
Don't address Annie.
I feel like she's being left out.
She's not, and the camera's here, so
Okay.
just talk to me.
By the time dinner was over,
yes,
everyone was so fucking high that they were in a corner.
They were doing
smoking their weed.
Oh, they were.
That they each had a pie.
Oh, well, that's good. Then you felt like your stuff was eaten.
It was eaten.
Oh, that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Nothing like bringing a dish and you look over and it's like nobody touched it, and it's just like such a rejected feeling. That doesn't happen to me, but it happened in the beginning, the early years of my Thanksgiving.
See, I'm 32 and I've sunk into the fact that I'm not going to help you do anything.
Okay.
If you'd like me to Venmo you for your time, I'm more than happy to do that.
Okay.
But I'm not going to help you clean up, set up, any of it.
Okay. Well, you guys know if you invite Lala, get ready.
Don't expect help. I'll offer it, but you should say no. I don't need your help.
Well, I had the best Thanksgiving of my life.
Really? Tell me.
Of my life.
Why?
It was like we did a big family Thanksgiving. We do it with Peter's family, but sometimes like his sister's family couldn't come or my sister's family couldn't come. Everybody came that I adore.
To your house?
No, we went to his cousin's house.
Okay.
And I bring a bunch of stuff. And we had like a fun Wednesday night before with his sister's family. Then full Thursday. Friday we went on the boat with his brother and sister's family. Saturday got my nails done, chilled, and then Sunday woke up, had a very productive day, put the tree up.
Your tree is gorgeous.
Thank you. It's a pre-lit Costco. It's the way to go.
It is
Fake.
the way to go.
And I had a little controversy about do I do a designer tree? Never have. I have all the little Santa stuff and everything. And Drake said, Mom, just do a minimal tree like people do with just the balls.
What's a designer tree?
Like if your decor of your house is just like white and black and silver or whatever, you would just do a tree that like matched that. You wouldn't have like Santa stuff or like your little kid's handprint.
I don't like that.
So
I don't like that at all.
You like a kitty tree.
I like a tree that screams, it's Christmas,
Okay.
here's red and green and Santa Claus and a picture of your kid.
So I did all that.
I loved it.
I mean, we have a photo even where Brandon's not featured because he wasn't born yet. And I'm like, Brandon, this is the one you hate the most. And we put it all up. And so we did not do the traditional, like a designer tree.
Okay.
Lala, you were the queen of the celebrities that said, what the fuck, Balenciaga, what the hell?
Yeah.
So this started to come out, I want to say like Tuesday-ish, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe late Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yes.
And it was a holiday weekend. So for me, I talked about it on my Extra Juicy Friday stuff. I do an episode for Fridays. And I talked about it there and I explained it and I said what I thought about it. But I didn't do like a video or a TikTok or anything. And I saw that you did and I'm like, I fucking love it. And we had already had plans for you to come. So this made it even better. But I know a lot of people are confused. So I'm going to explain it and then I want to get just about the two ads that sparked everything.
Yes.
So the first ad is two little kids that couldn't be older than 3.5. And they appear to both be girls. And they're standing up, one on a bed, one on a couch, with a bunch of Balenciaga pillows and all these accessories. And they're each holding these bears that have bondage on them, like a gay bear would go to a S&M party. Mm-hmm. But it's a real stuffed bear. That is their product, I assume, for people I mean, I adults could have it, but obviously they have kids in the ad. Also, they have what they call the panda eyes.
Yes.
Do you know about the panda eyes?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to explain what the panda eyes are?
I'm going to let you explain what the panda eyes mean.
As a panda has black around its eyes. And this is something that when children are traumatized sexually, it causes black around their eyes. I had black around my eyes when I fainted and fell on my head, and nobody hit me in the eye.
Right.
So there's trauma that can happen different ways. And in pedophile rings and stuff, this is part of a fetish to see. Other people have done it. Maybe they're not aware of it. Lady Gaga has a photo with her with panda eyes. So, of course, I can talk about this because there's no one in Hollywood that gives me a job or can cancel me. So we're going to go deep on this. I'm going to tell you everything I know. And Lala is a guest. You can come after her or not. Okay, so I've been following this stuff for a while. And I've talked a little bit about it. And I've had people come after me, conspiracy theories, blah, blah, blah. Do the elites, are there certain elites, not all of them, certain elites that are in pedophile rings, that glorify this, that think that this is okay to have child porn in your possession and speak about it and share it? Okay, so the bears have that as well. The other ad. So someone saw this ad and they put it on Twitter and it started to go wild.
Right. The photos are already disturbing, right? Mm-hmm. The photos are disturbing. It's what came with these photos that you're obviously going to explain that really
purse.
sends it correct.
So this one was a couple weeks prior, this ad. And this was a Balenciaga Adidas collab. It is a nice looking purse. I like the shape of the purse. It's black with white stripes. And it's on a messy office, like a desk. A messy desk. And people zoomed in and they noticed what this writing was underneath, which they made it big enough that for you to see it or for the signals of the people that matter to see it, a wink, wink, okay, right. Which is what this has always been, is a wink, wink. Mm-hmm. Whether it's red shoes, a red balloon, a piece of pizza, all that stuff is, people believe it's a wink to let people know that you're part of this group, okay? So this is what it basically said. The tweet that went viral this week, used as a prop, was a legal document. That's what the purse is sitting on, referring to virtual child porn. And it was from November in a collab with Adidas. And it is from Ashcroft versus Free Speech Coalition. And the U.S. Supreme Court struck down portions of the federal legislation outlawing child porn, which plaintiffs said went against the First Amendment. So what this writing was from an actual case where people said virtual child porn should be allowed as a freedom of speech. And the government said no. Right. And so they're showing that, okay, which is very bizarre, and people caught it. So that happened like Wednesday. And when did you speak up and what did you say?
I believe, so I think my assistant brought this to me on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I sat on it for a second. I wanted to zoom in a little bit more. I just wanted to know, like, if what I'm seeing is correct before I posted. The next day is when I was like, something is not right. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right? I know what's out there. I've been hearing about this for a really long time, and I'm the type of person where if it makes sense, then I'm going to believe it. Like, if you can bring me something where it's like, that all adds up, very logical, okay? I could not help myself. I was like, fuck this. This is what people are trying to say out there, that this does exist, and it could not be any clearer than this Balenciaga campaign, right? I immediately said, I'm disgusted. We have so many people, and this is what made me believe in Hollywood so much. Whenever I see, it was Stop Asian Hate, Hollywood rallied. We were all a voice, right? It was anti-Semitism. We were all there. We were a voice. Black Lives Matter. And then this happens where there's children involved, and it is fucking crickets. And I wasn't aware that I was I guess, one of the only quote-unquote celebrities, which also makes me sad because I'm like, my voice compared to the voice of Kim Kardashian, who is basically the face of Balenciaga. Right. She says nothing. Everyone is dead silent when it comes to kids who really are voiceless. I'm shaking right now. I am so passionate about this and encouraging people to don't stop talking about it. I mean, the brand, I'm not into cancel culture. The brand's got to be canceled.
Well, I will say that the only thing I did like of the brand throughout the years were these heart-shaped purses, the one that's featured. I like that look of it. I went to the Balenciaga store in February in Vegas, and I thought the stuff was so fucking ugly. I did like a TikTok about it. I'm wearing these red, I looked like I'm Mr. Heat Miser. Like, they're so ugly with the shoe that matches. I hate the pink thing that Kim wore. I hate the blue one that Lisa Rinna wore. I don't like the looks. I don't like the big jackets with Balenciaga. I don't like stuff with names all over it. I've said that for like a year now that I'm totally turned off. And I was someone that after I got a few bucks, I did enjoy buying a Gucci bag and I didn't buy Louis Vuitton. I'm kind of just I got turned off with the stealing of it. And just that it was like that people were stealing and grabbing it. I'm like, ooh, I don't even want to be part of this machine where it's putting people that work there in danger, whatever. But I will be honest, I have one bag.
Okay.
It is a fake. It's a rescue fake in that my friend ordered 2 of them from a fake person through the mail. I think it came from Canada.
Okay.
And she's like, do you want this one? And so, like, I think it went for, like, I don't know, $100, $200 or something.
Okay.
It has a mark on it now.
Which, by the way, $200 for a bag is still, like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. And I've worn it in photos, and people are like, love the bag. I'm never wearing it again. I don't care. Now, a lot of people are burning their stuff, cutting it up, throwing it away. Somebody wants it. It's your choice to wear it. I'm not going to wear it ever again, even though it's a fake. I've never bought something Balenciaga.
I encourage you to not give it to someone else.
Okay, then
it cannot be worn.
We can throw it away. We can have you can put a dead animal in it and use it as a casket and bury it. That might be a good idea.
Why don't we ask your listeners what they would do with it?
Okay, so we'll put it away. But I went super deep. Okay, people know I'm a fan of the TikTok. And the way the TikTok works is you start watching something and they're like, ooh, this person likes this. So they give me more and more. Okay. And I found some really interesting stuff.
Okay.
First of all, I said, who are the parents of the models showing their faces? Why don't we care? What I've discovered, and again, everything I'm going to say, you guys, you could argue is not 100%. I don't have a staff of 500. This is a podcast talking about Juicy Scoop. What I saw was that the models, like these 2 cute kids, their parents work for Balenciaga. They were not hired models from like Ford Kid Modeling Agency. And they said we had a great time on the shoot. And because I did think, okay, your kids, my sister's kids were child models and actors. And I definitely think a mom that comes on set and it may have not occurred. This is a weird, like I didn't really, until someone pointed out, I don't know that I would have like stopped in a magazine and been like, why is that child holding a bear that looks like it wants to go to a S&M gay party? Like I wouldn't have noticed that. And not that it has to be gay, but just because it is a bear. And I know bears sometimes enjoy going to S&M parties.
Well, there's another picture of the little girl in the purple where she's laying on her stomach.
No, I didn't see that one.
It's disturbing, and maybe because of where my life is right now, I'm hypersensitive to
because
this
your
type
daughter
of thing.
is a year and a half.
Right. And if I would have been on this set and seen just the littlest tiny things, I think there was like a spiked collar or something, I would have said, well, even the panda bear, I would have said, where are the Christmas
panda
trees?
eyes.
What is this?
Yeah.
I have a child. This is my little girl. I'm not digging whatever is happening here. And thank you for your time. We'll still be expecting the check.
Yeah.
She ain't doing this, though.
Right. But so my original thought was the parent comes, they're talking, they're having snacks, they see their kid is having a good time, they left. But the fact that now the information I got is that these kids, their parents work for Balenciaga.
That is heartbreaking.
So then Balenciaga did a statement and said, we're so upset. They filed a $25 million lawsuit against the production company, which now I've seen photographers from the production company, not from that one, but ones that have done this, and they've stepped through how much has to go through that 100% Balenciaga was aware of this ad, and they instructed it.
For anyone who believes this, we've all seen the fucking Devil Wears Prada, all right? Where you sit in a fucking boardroom, you talk about things like this for months on end. It goes through so many different people. The smallest little detail, the placement of the paper, all of it. Before it goes to the head for approval, who's also seen it 500 million times. So who are you suing? I don't understand. Yourselves?
They're suing to get the heat off of them and make people go, they're sorry, let them go. They're sorry.
Fuck off.
Right. I
Fuck
agree.
off. That's how I feel. There's, number one, children involved. There's a document that you know damn well what it fucking says.
Right.
I'm not buying it, and everyone else should not be buying it either. They're shoving it in our faces, and it's time. Like, we gotta find the light again. We're in darkness.
Well, what all this is it's grooming a society to think that this stuff is okay. And this is okay, and it's fine, and it doesn't mean anything, and kids don't mind it, and all of that. Okay,
Did you see this, though?
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this person's name. Nicholas Gesquire, formerly... He used to be with Balenciaga. Okay. Caring is who he ats, which I believe is the owner of Balenciaga.
Okay.
This Nicholas guy, who now is with Louis Vuitton, wrote on his Instagram story, when I left at Caring, Balenciaga, in 2012, I felt disconnected and hurt by their values and honesty. Oh. Hi, we're sitting here screaming, saying, this is happening, wake the fuck up.
Right. So,
I'm sweating. Heather.
Okay, so wait, there's more.
My heart is pounding.
I have so much more for you. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
So here's another ad with a cute boy who looks not even 6 years old. Maybe he's 4.5.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's zoom in on some things on this ad, and I will give this person credit as okay. So the shoes look like devil faces, do they not? Like the devil.
Yeah, they do.
So that's the boy's shoes.
Okay.
Okay. There they are up close. Oh, this is from the TikTok account Mark Bajent. Okay, he did all this work. In the corner is a kid's drawing of clearly the devil.
Correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then here in the corner is a perfectly tied hoodie that is what people use in satanic worship.
Okay.
Tied in a very specific way.
Okay.
Here is the doll with the chain around its neck. And then here is the tape.
The double A.
The double A. So what does BAAL instead of... So it's a misspelled. It's that yellow tape that Kim Kardashian wore as a dress. But in this ad, it has BAAL and then B. So what does BAAL mean? Well, if you look it up, BAAL is God worshipped in many ancient Middle Eastern communities, especially among the Canaanites, who apparently considered him a fertility deity and one of the most important gods. So it is like another satanic worship situation here. And then also Michael Borman, his book was featured in the ad with the purse on the legal paper.
Right.
And all of his art is children that are, this child, it's a famous painting of his, is a little boy, couldn't be older than 2.5, what appears to be soaked in blood, except for its blonde hair, blood all over its body. And there's lots of other photos from this guy's book that are satanic and with children. Okay, so his book. So then let's talk about what happened with Kanye over the weekend.
Yeah.
So Kanye said a few things.
Yes.
Kanye said, I couldn't use my Apple Pay. I tried to use my Apple Pay. The world is trying to cut me off. I couldn't have my Apple Pay. He also went and had dinner with Donald Trump. Donald Trump wrote, I had dinner with Kanye and 2 people I didn't know. Those 2 people are problematic as far as been accused of being in like very right wing to the point of like more than right wing, like white supremacists. So I don't want to get into all that. But he says I'm running. Kanye said I asked Donald Trump to be my running mate, meaning Donald Trump being my vice president. He also he bought every piece of Balenciaga clothes and put Ye 24 on it. And is selling it for $20 each with all of his campaign. So that all happened. And so then he does this speech that's going viral where he's like, got you. And he's saying, children, and I got to protect the children and all this stuff. But, by the way, Thanksgiving, he wasn't invited to Thanksgiving. A lot of people were talking about this Thanksgiving look. Kind of looks like a funeral home because she had like brown warming dishes, but then she had all these photos of everybody that came to Thanksgiving. It almost looks like the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Come back. But anyway, they clearly didn't do a photo shoot. They clearly had someone take their face and do like old-fashioned photos, but they're Victorian photos. They weren't pilgrim photos, which is Thanksgiving. But anyway, kind of cool. People liked it. All right, but they weren't invited. So then all weekend long, no one said anything but Lala. And then Kim wrote last night, very late last night, I think, or the end of the day. I've been quiet for the past few days, not because I haven't been shocked and outraged by the recent Balenciaga campaigns, but because I want an opportunity to speak to their team to understand for myself how this could happen. I also want to interrupt you so I don't forget. This was the final episode of the Hulu show this weekend. This week was the end of the season.
Okay.
And on whatever day it aired, Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday, Khloe shared a clip from the show in which Kim is talking to Chris and making fun of the way she says Yves Saint Laurent or Louis Vuitton, whatever. And then how do you say Balenciaga? How do you say Balenciaga? And she said they say Balenciaga about 20 times in the clip.
Okay.
Khloe, after about, 5 hours, did remove the clip. But that was the promo clip for their final show.
And this had already happened.
Yes, this was like Wednesday, Thursday. So she continues.
Okay.
As a mother of 4, I have been shaken by those disturbing images. The safety of children must be held with the highest regard, and anything against it should have no place in our society, period. I appreciate Balenciaga's removal of the campaigns and apology. In speaking with them, I believe they understand the seriousness of the issue and will take the necessary measures for this to never happen again. A lot of people feel this is supporting Balenciaga,
of course
accepting their apology, and like, let's all move on. They made a mistake. It'll never happen again. Let's keep buying their ugly shit.
They're sorry that they got caught, all right? It's like a tale as old as time. Oh, fuck. They're not sheeple like we thought they were. They've caught on. Everyone's biggest fear is us commoners catching the fuck on and calling them out, right?
Yes. Yeah, totally.
So for her to say, I appreciate Balenciaga's removal of the campaign, guess what? It's way bigger than that, motherfuckers. Well, it's way bigger than removing it. It should never have happened, and it was so strategic. But now you've got these people on TikTok who they will assassinate you.
It's called citizen journalism. I fucking love it.
And there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever, I'm sitting here going, bring the fucking dogs out.
Yeah.
This you will not get away with. I appreciate people being ignorant and wanting to change and doing things where it's like an honest mistake. I was unaware. This was so intentional, so disgusting that if Kim K continues working with them, I used to be a huge fan of that family, right? Never seen an episode of their show. Actually, I did watch last season, but I watched like 3 minutes of the new season on Hulu and was like, this is so boring. I can't even. I'm disgusted.
I listen. I don't understand why you don't cut more ties with people. You have so much money. I don't understand.
Kim Kardashian.
I don't know why they're still doing, like a paid post. Like why would you? Like, why are you still like doing like, oh, I love this vitamin or whatever. Like, okay, but
be
especially
done with Balenciaga,
this.
move on.
Like,
there's
God.
Louis Vuitton, there's Burberry. I mean, the list goes on as far as high-end brands that you could, sign on to.
Now, a lot of people are like, oh, Kanye found God. He knows this is evil. But let's just remind people that Kanye's involvement, all right? So this is a glorified gossip girl. It's a great Instagram account. This girl goes deep. I like her. So she's like, remember, he was part of this weird campaign, the mud campaign, where people look like they were walking in the mud.
Right.
He was in it. He helped design it. And this was a quote from the document on Ye and Demna. I don't know, is that the designer? Anyway, quote, and this season, the reference to it were deliberate. The insinuation of violence, the tactical gear, the trenches, the appeals to marred childhood, muddied stuffed animals, the baby slings carrying lifelike dolls. That was the point of the show. Ye took his small children to it as well. This is her writing now, the gossip girl. While I'm not against taking your kids to fashion shows, if you're going to preach, protect the children from these ads, then bring your kids where violence is married with fake bloody children. I don't think it's consistent. I agree. I agree with
too.
her. Ye was dropped by Balenciaga because of the comments he made. Kim is under attack for what the brand did. So, yes, she should do more, but so here was some stuff from that fashion show. It's a guy, dressed in the look of like he's been living on the streets for a year with a baby doll in a carrier. There was also in the bag was like a bloody doll. Here's another guy in a pink, juicy, like couture-looking jog suit with one of the bears. That was a fashion model. Here's this girl with the bear and the panda eyes.
Is that Bella Hadid?
Oh, that's Bella Hadid. I got something from Bella Hadid. She's going to speak up. And here is Kanye going to the fashion show with his kids that range from 9 to like 4. Also, Teresa, she packed some stuff to go to Paris. Teresa Giudice.
Don't wear it then.
She went to Paris
Don't
with.
wear it.
I know, but I'm saying. She probably doesn't even know what's going on. I'm just saying, in defense of someone who probably doesn't know what's going on, she doesn't go on. Anyway, she wore it and posted. Not bright of her.
I'm letting you know. I went to the Grove yesterday and I saw people in Balenciaga and I immediately said, I judge you. I hate you. We would never connect. You're a piece of shit.
You said that to their face?
No, but I'm sitting here and I'm like this has gone to me so much to the point where like there are people that I follow on social media who I consider to be friendly with who were wearing Balenciaga, and
over the weekend
after this had all happened, don't fucking talk to me.
Okay.
I don't want any part of you. If you can still rock this brand with everything that has gone on, like you and I want to light you on fire.
And also I want to say it's fucking ugly. The stuff, I'm sorry, I've never,
Well,
I'm
this is
proud to
horrific
say I've never thought it was cute. I don't like it. Lisa Rinna has the same cloak or whatever. So does Heather Gay with the Balenciaga all over
It's
it.
horrible.
I
It's
think it's
so
fucking ugly
ugly.
and basic and too expensive and lame. So be grateful that you can now go, you know what? It was ugly. I got roped into it because everybody else was wearing it. Thank you for being... I always say, with people and now with fashion brands, sometimes someone's greatest gift is treating you so badly that you're like, I'm not going to fuck with you anymore.
Totally.
Thank you. Thank you for freeing me.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to fucking get rid of you. Now you can take that ugly shit out of your closet. It never was flattering.
Right.
It didn't look good. Okay, so then Amelia Gray, Lisa Rinna's daughter, wrote, I have some thoughts. Why do we keep promoting cancel culture in our society? I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I was taught that mistakes are very crucial, an important aspect of the human experience. A mistake which is a full campaign. Okay. If this is not a tweet in the middle of the night after you took an Ambien, okay? If we don't make mistakes, we don't learn. We grow up with the idea that we need to learn from our mistakes. So instead of being so quick to cancel people, why not give everyone an opportunity to do better? Just trying to spread love and light.
So what I'm taking is she got a lot of hate for this first one, and she reposted something that said, I was just trying to share love and light, but
never mind. Yeah. And it's like, you're pretty, just, you don't need to, but you know what? This is probably the truth. She's probably like, who cares? She probably she probably doesn't realize how serious it is. She might have had someone else in her ear, like an agent being like, Amelia, don't worry about it. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. It's not a big deal. Avoid the haters. I don't know what information she sought out.
It's a big deal.
She can listen to Juicy Scoop now, and you can send it to her, and I'm giving you it all.
This was so, can I tell you,
Yes.
if it was just the kids in the photo and they were like, had this stuff, it's like, I may, with an apology, where it was like, that was very stupid. We should not have put children in this situation. Like, it doesn't look good. We were just trying to be like edgy. It was so well thought out and strategic, and just with everything that we know as far as like conspiracy theories and what certain things mean, and then they shoved the document in with it. It was so deliberate that something like cancel culture, you and I both know. I don't dig cancel culture either. I think people say and do a lot of ignorant things that I feel like we need as a society to contribute to having teachable moments, right? This is horrifying.
Well, and it's important that...
Am I the only one who feels this way?
No. I mean, I think, listen, I've been on TikTok. No, a lot of people are horrified, but I think they're people that don't buy it, that don't, can't afford it, and or never had a desire to. And they're like, look, fucking told you so. I mean, everyone thought we were, QAnon weirdos or whatever, when there's not. There's a level of that, and then there's a level of there's a lot of truth to it, and there always has been. And they're sadly, it's not everybody. So it's like, I hate that, where it's like these people run Hollywood, or everyone in Hollywood is this elite, eating the blood of babies. And I've always said, no, it's not. But does it exist? Yes. Just like it exists at a trailer park. It exists. But when you have people at a really high level, it can be even, I think, more dangerous, more covert, more damaging. And it's that thing that I always talk about with like Woody Allen movies and stuff, where you watch this whole movie and you're like, why does a 17-year-old girl want to fuck this old Woody Allen? And then by the time you've watched an hour and 20 minutes of it, you're like, oh, I guess he is pretty charming. Oh, I guess she is mature enough to be with him. And that's what the media does. I mean, that's what certain media does.
Right. If we shove it on them enough,
the more you see it, the more it's normalized, the more it's not a big deal, the more it's... What was a shocking storyline 15 years ago, an edgy storyline 15 years ago, is nothing today. Like, it's not.
I know.
So it's like more and more of that. Okay, I'm going to skip through this. But now this was a documentary I saw that is what I saw this documentary, I said... This is why I believe that this kind of stuff of passing around children and abusing them and parents being involved with it has existed forever. This is a documentary called Tell Me Who I Am. Came out a couple years ago. It's about two identical twin boys that grew up in England, and they're like 50 today. And one of the boys, when he was 18, got in a horrible car accident, and he knew who his brother was and stuff, but he forgot like everything about his childhood. And so the one brother then filled him with memories of a wonderful childhood, because their childhood was horrific. And both of the boys were trafficked and tossed around to these elites, these rich men that had like, the mom would take them to parties and leave them there for the weekend and for the night. And these men that had art and all this stuff would rape them and everything from like 10 to 14. And then when the one kid was like 14, he was like, no, I don't want to go anymore. And so they're like, okay. And then that boy then got in the car accident and then didn't know. And then many, and then then they grew up, they're married, they work together. Then he realizes that the brother has been lying to him, but he still doesn't remember the abuse. And so it's such a beautiful story, because the brother he was like, oh my God, my brother doesn't have to suffer like I do. So I'm going to create a false childhood for him. But then the brother was like, but you lied to me all these years. It's fascinating. But what I got from it is that this shit exists, and it happens. And it happens among really wealthy, powerful people, just like it does among people who are not wealthy.
But can I tell you what's more powerful than like the man in a suit who has a lot of power in like an elite society is all of the people who are working 9 to 5s in whatever town they live in, all getting together and saying, we're not shutting the fuck up. We see you because we're coming in. It's like, we have to.
Yeah.
The only thing more powerful than that guy in a powerful position is all of us not shutting up and calling them out.
Right. Yeah, totally. It's great.
And Heather, it's scary right now. The world is dark. And I feel like I have to keep telling my people who follow me, we have to stay in the light.
Yeah.
Like after seeing the Balenciaga campaign, because I do think a lot about when I should say something and when I shouldn't, because people are very quick to like cancel you, and this is my livelihood. I have a kid to pay for. Like I can't afford to get canceled, not like anyone else can, but it's scary. I'm finally going, I'm not shutting up. Like we have to, if something's wrong, we have to talk about it, and we can't just let this go. These are little kids.
And like the censorship of stuff too. That a lot of big platforms and papers and things will not allow you to even say certain words on a show. So, they call it child corn, like so that they can talk about how awful it is, because the word will then pop up and their video won't be shown. Or I told you I'm part of this movie called Sudden Death. Mm-hmm. Look it up. It involves what's gone on in the world for the last 3 years. And they're showing a video of me of when I fainted and suffered that fall. And they have every right to share the information that they've gathered of why they believe I fainted.
Right.
Because I don't know why I fainted. No one at the Phoenix Hospital knew why I fainted. I took every single test, and thank God I'm okay, because there's no way to prove it unless you actually die and they open you up. So I'm just recovering from the hit on my head.
That no one can give you an explanation why it happened.
Well, there's people that think that they know why.
Right.
And that I think you guys can figure out what I'm talking about.
Right.
And they have every right to go discover it, talk about it. Like why not?
No, I completely agree with you.
And I feel like throughout that whole time, I was on the right side of history. I did what I thought was the appropriate thing to do. I got the appropriate shots to go out and perform. I never was judgmental of anybody that did not get the shots. I never told someone that, there was one person that was going to perform with me, and I had to say, you have to get it because the venue is insisting on it.
Right.
And asking for that card and everything. Mm-hmm. And I feel badly about that, but they made it work. And, but I was like, look, I just need to perform, and I did what I was supposed to do.
Right.
And there's people that said, no, I'm not going to do it, and have lost their jobs and this and that. And this is all coming up now, and people are all talking about it, and go talk about it. Thank God there's other platforms to talk about. So if a platform won't allow it, find another one, talk about it. Talk about it.
I also thought it was interesting that the only publication to talk about my speaking out against Balenciaga was Page 6 / I think the New York Post. I think they're one and the same, right?
I don't know if they're one and the same, but the New York Post definitely will take a more controversial stand on things. I've noticed.
I appreciate that.
They give less of a fuck.
Yeah. While the rest of the publications are balls deep in, Lala's got a new boyfriend. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, that even matters in this world. Like, I don't even care. You think other people care?
You still have that boyfriend? No.
No.
Okay.
But then something that actually, right? See? But then things that actually matter, it's like, we're not going to pick this up. But the New York Post and Page 6, like...
Well, I think a lot of thing is, let's wait and see. Let's see where the wave goes. Okay, now we're hopping on the wave. We didn't want to hop on the wave and be the one out in the middle of the tsunami. But now that the whole wave is coming, now we'll all hop on it, and it's okay.
We didn't know if it would be cool. Hop on it.
Yeah, people probably didn't know if they'd be banned from being invited to Christmas parties. And I'm okay at this point. I have enough stuff planned for December.
Yeah, because that girl invited you on the 20th. So you have heavy plans. Yo, this was crazy.
So Todd and Julie Chrisley, last episode, we didn't know what they were sentenced to. He got 12 years. She got...
I think it was 19 years total.
Yeah, so he got 12. She got 7. There is supervised probation after for 18 months. Like, who cares about that? You're going away for 12. And to explain really what they did is they were basically, from everything I've studied, they were grifters.
What does that mean? What is
like
a grifter?
A grifter just means that you're that you're full of shit, and that you like are scamming and faking things your whole life, and you're charming and.
Well, I don't think that was any surprise. I mean, have you watched Chrisley Knows Best or whatever it's called? It is so not real. It's like, how many times did you guys sit in like a writer's room to concoct your real storyline?
Right. It was very fake script. It was a reality. They played themselves, but it was basically scripted.
100%.
And he had like a house flipping business. And then he said, I want to get into fashion. And there was this woman that then led a production company, going, I know the most eccentric guy. You got to meet him. They met him and they're like, this guy's perfect. You're perfect for reality TV. So from there, they had this lavish life that they got through defrauding small banks, getting loans. One thing that she did was she wanted a house in LA. So and this is all part of the case, but they've been convicted, so we can talk about it. So what she did was literally cut and pasted a form with a fake FICO score, because her FICO score was like under 600, with a higher FICO score and how much she made and all this stuff. Gave it to the person who owned the home that she wanted to rent in LA.
Okay. They
got in the home, and then they never paid rent. An expensive, lavish home. That was just one thing she did on her own. Then she was, did all the other stuff with him. So then he had this other guy who worked for him, who was the one who was the whistleblower. And there's all these emails between the two of them in email being like, make it look more real, make sure that it appears that we have 4 million, make it look like we have 700,000 in this account. And then they'd get all these loans, and then they would live off those loans, buy the lavish clothes that we'd see and everything, and then never, and then all of a sudden declare bankruptcy and never have to pay them back. They also never filed for taxes or paid on their taxes all these years that they were all being paid several $100,000 a year to appear on the show.
How long had that gone on for? Did they say? When did it start?
Like 2011.
Oh my God.
Like there's stuff from back then.
So then at what point does someone step in and say, something's wrong, we're going to investigate this?
So the guy that worked for them, who claimed he also had a romantic relationship
with Todd,
even though he's married and they're going to stay together, he was the one that presented everything.
He was the whistleblower.
Yes. And then he's like, this guy was, did all this stuff on his own. He was obsessed with me. He's obsessed with my celebrity. I, love my wife, Julie, very much. Don't you watch the show? How many times I want to say I want to fuck her? Like, get out of the room, kids. Like, that's their whole stupid theme of the show. And so he got 3 years, the whistleblower.
Oh.
And then they got the 12 and the 9.
Do you think he would have gotten more had he not been the whistleblower?
Yeah, I mean, he brought it all and he admitted that he did it wrong. The two of them were saying, no, we didn't. And they did a full trial. Now they're probably going to appeal because there was some like IRS officer that they believe like lied about something. So I don't know what the appeal is, but they're definitely going to have to do time. And what it is, federal prison is worse than state, is longer than state. So you do 85% of your federal prison time that you're given.
Okay.
So even if you're like, great, but it's a nicer situation than state. Like there's more to do. It's a better accommodations. You're with nonviolent criminals, so it's like a little more doable. But you do you do the majority of the time that you're given. So
what will happen since they are filing the appeal? When are they taking them in?
We don't know that part yet. We're waiting on when they have to turn in. Now the one guy, he's turning in himself in May because he has to get a hip surgery. So he's going in May. And then we don't know when they're going in. I listened to their podcast. Peter and I listened to their podcast.
Have they talked about it?
Yes, which they recorded before they got sentenced.
Oh.
But they're like, they sound like, Peter and I both said at the same time, like, they sound like Jim and Tammy Faye Baker.
Who's that?
Oh my gosh. It's an amazing movie that you can watch it's scripted. It was this couple that I used to watch on TV.
Yeah.
I was like, basically like gonna sign up and be an evangelist because I thought it was pretty great.
Yeah.
They had like this big Christian TV show and she had the black mascara, lots of eye makeup, But she was just so sweet and he was so charming. And they just talked about like Christian goodness and like really positive spiritual stuff. And Jesus, you don't know if, the only way the grass can grow is after there is rain. And we have been through it, my love. And so that's the whole podcast was them acting like Tam. Oh, but by the way, Jim and Tammy Faye, Jim eventually turned out to be gay, and they did all this fraudulent stuff, and they stole from all the people, and they did all. So he ended up going to jail.
Okay.
And she ended up being like a delight of the gays. Like she was like the one that was like, stop. She was like the first person in the 80s that was like a Christian that was like, no, we need to embrace the gays and not put them aside because they have AIDS, and like that's not what AIDS is about. So
I'm watching this movie.
So she was pretty great. But
okay.
Anyway, but she was all part of this fake facade. So the two of them act like that with their southern accent, and they're so in love, and they so have each other's back, and they never admit guilt. They didn't on the podcast. They didn't in the trial. They have no remorse. He also said, like, I never wanted this fame game. I didn't like it when people chased us down and in the car trying to get our picture. And, maybe that is what it's meant to be. Maybe this was the path that the Lord wanted us to walk. And when we walk it, we did it. And it was just like constant stuff like that.
Any reality TV personality who tells you they didn't want to be famous is so full of shit.
Totally.
I mean, come on. You literally are bringing cameras into your home just to be yourself because you couldn't make it anywhere else. I mean, that's what happened to me. I was like, I want to be an actor, right? And it was like, when is that going to happen? Oh, Vanderpump Rules? Like, sign me up. Put a camera in my face.
Someone asked me about this. Were you already a hostess, or did you seek being a hostess because you wanted to be on the show?
No, I had never seen the show. I had never wanted to be on the show. And I got a job at SUR when I first moved out because my two best friends from Utah also worked there. And they were like, we could get you a job there. We just drink on the job. It's awesome. I was like, that sounds so fun.
Okay.
So I got a job as a hostess. I maybe worked for a month. And then the manager came up to me and yelled at me at the hostess stand because apparently the people that I did not seat were regulars and very wealthy. And because they were an hour late for their reservation, I made them wait. So I was heavily reprimanded for that. The manager walks away. I look at the other hostess. I said, no one is speaking to me that way. I'm fucking leaving. So I grab my shit. I clock out. It's a Saturday. We have like 600 reservations. I didn't give a fuck. I fucking left. That was how I quit. And then comes Lisa Vanderpump as I'm getting wasted in the restaurant like a year later. And she says,
oh, you come back a year later.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was done.
And then she
said, do you need a job? But with that was like, do you need a job?
And be on TV.
Right.
Oh, okay. Good.
So I was like,
you may have told me that before on the show, but I couldn't remember.
I very much worked at SUR, and I was horrific at my job, and I don't like having a boss.
Okay. Well.
Sorry, that was a long-winded answer.
No. So again, we don't know when they're going to actually have to show up, if they can have the holiday. But I will say, and then Savannah, just before I forget, Savannah's the one daughter. She gets custody of the 16-year-old brother. And they have a 10-year-old granddaughter that they also have custody of, and she's going to have custody of them.
I think that's a great situation.
Yeah.
Keeps it normal. Consistency is key, obviously, with two parents going away.
But who knows if they'll do any more shows. The Savannah and the other older brother, they had their own show of where they, on E, which I don't know, I didn't even watch it, where they came out to LA and tried to make it on their own. I don't know if people will keep filming them.
I've heard that all the shows have been canceled.
Okay.
But I don't think that the kids should have to pay for their parents' actions.
I don't think they're going to have to pay. $17 million is restitution.
Oh, fuck.
So that means any property they have or anything has to be taken.
If the kids had a spin-off show,
that
shouldn't be taken from them because their parents messed up.
Listen, it's not going to work because the tone of them was being rich and sassy but God-loving. Yeah. And so none of that tone works now.
Right.
It's like we can't it might be really interesting. I mean, hey, documentarians, I would say, yeah, I would get a camera in right now and film everything and just have like a 2-hour special not on here of them saying goodbye to them, of them admitting anything, of what the plan is for them to financially survive, of how they're going to pay the money. Like that I'd like to see, but I don't think it can be done by the USA Network.
No,
we
need that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do you know who Jesse James Decker is?
Of course I do.
Could you like to tell the world who Jesse James Decker is?
She's that hot football player's wife and also a country singer.
Good job. I did not know. I had to have Annie look it up because I'm like, why is this chick like always in my feed? So
she's so stunning and so cute.
She posted this photo of her kids. It was brought to my attention. It started to go viral. That they had these incredible 6-packs. Okay. And people are like, oh my God. Okay. So this is her photo of her 3 kids that are very fit. And they appear to have 6, 8, maybe even a 12-pack. Okay. So then some people posted side by side and they said, we believe that she Photoshopped it. But the one that they did the side by side, the kids are in the shade.
Right.
So she got very angry and, clapped back and how dare you talk about my children's bodies and this and that. But I'm also going to say a lot of people don't feature their kids like that. And a lot of people put stuff on their faces or don't show them.
Right.
Or maybe, if this was so disturbing to her as a mom, being accused that she may have Photoshopped her kids, which celebrities have, okay? They can't help it.
I Photoshopped Ocean before, but here's what I've done. Because I can remember I was like, are people going to drag me? She had a bug bite on her face.
Yeah.
And the photo was so cute, and I wanted to post it, and I also wanted to frame it because, Ocean's just gorgeous.
Yes.
And so I went to my app, and I just removed the bug bite.
Yes.
We've all done it. Have I put abs on my children? No, I don't even know. Or on my child, I wouldn't even know how to do that. But it does seem strange that anyone is commenting on children's bodies, like whether it was Photoshopped or not. Like, they're an athletic family. So, I had friends that age who had bodies like that because they were all gymnasts or they were in Little League football. Like, it just is what it is.
Here's the thing. Everybody comments on everything. And she's an Instagram person that I believe is a little bit... some people really love her. Some people hate her. I don't even know why she's always in the news. I really don't. I just hear her name all the time. So I think people thought that she may have done this and that's annoying. And maybe they're jealous that she is so popular and has such a great life. I don't know. But a lot of people said the same thing that you're saying. Like, sorry that, maybe you don't see this. Like, kids in places where they're out in the sun all the time and they're doing gymnastics and they're doing soccer and they have a super athletic dad. They genetically have a body that's shaped like that. I mean, then they believe that
Jesse James Decker
she has a great body.
She's muscular.
So that so anyway, she got annoyed, but I just want to say when people get so annoyed, then maybe don't feature your kids. Like maybe just go back to just like or maybe don't feature them in bathing suits, or maybe just have your Christmas photo once a year. Maybe don't feature them every time they walk out the door or make a tuna fish sandwich. Like maybe come up with some other content that's not so dependent on them. If you want to do mom stuff, you still don't have to show your kid. You can still say, this is my mom hack. This is what I'm buying my kid. Maybe this should be a lesson to her. Like just focus on your singing and your cute outfits.
It's really hard though, because when you have kids and there's like special moments or just like where you think your kids look so cute and you're like, I have to share this with everybody because it's so stinking cute. And you have to just know if you are in the public eye in even the smallest bit, you're going to have people coming for you.
Right.
It could be the most perfect photo in the entire world. You're always going to have the trolls.
And just know that.
Yeah.
Like, and delete, block, whatever it needs to be.
But it is weird. Like, I personally would never troll anybody unless it's people going to SeaWorld and people wearing Balenciaga. Other than that, you're safe. But, like, who would get on social media and comment on, like, a child's body. It's just fucking weird to me.
I just think it was kind of unusual. When I saw it, I was like, wow.
See, to me, these kids look like they are athletic. I mean, I had friends as a kid that looked like that who were doing gymnastics every other day and in Little League football. So to me, it's just like kids on the beach.
Right. Okay. So
who knows? Oh, Housewives. I'll have a heyday with this.
Tell me what you think of Salt Lake so far.
I'm worried.
There was not a new episode this week, correct? On Wednesday?
I think I'm one behind.
No, there wasn't.
So if there was, I didn't see it.
No, there wasn't.
I'm worried about it.
What are you worried about? You're bored?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very worried. Because and I love the cast, right? Like I know them personally. They're amazing. Jen brings it, but as we know, she's most likely not returning, and they've got to figure it out because I won't even lie, the past 2 episodes I fast forwarded a lot, and the last one I watched I didn't even finish because I was like, this is
which would never happen in Beverly Hills.
Never.
And they said about Beverly Hills, there was a big article, I have it here, but they were going to say that Andy says it's been put on pause, but then he came back and said, no, just till the new year. I'm like, that's not pause. That's Christmas vacation.
Yeah, right?
Jen Shaw was supposed to, as you know, she admitted guilt.
Yeah.
She didn't know how much time she was going to get. Could get up to 9, not more than 9. Of course, her person was going to, try to get her less. She would be going to federal prison as well. And she was supposed to go December 15th. She has moved. They accepted that they will now not have to show up till January 6th.
So what is that? Why would that happen?
They just asked and they said fine.
Okay, so it's not like they had...
It's not like there's any bigger thing. It was just like, we're just requesting, can she have a Christmas? And they're like, okay.
Well, that was nice of them.
And
I'm so confused by people who are like...
What?
It's just a special form of narcissism where it's like, I'm doing a lot of illegal shit and it's a great idea for me to be on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
What? Like if I was doing some sketchy things, I'd be like, don't put a camera in my face. Get the fuck away from me. This is my circle. No one's coming in because I got to keep this under wraps. I would not be throwing myself and displaying all of my wealth on a television show when I have a group of people who all know the name of the game, call Susie, she's 98 in Colorado, and take all her money.
So I think it's that the reason they got into the shady shit is that they were this thirsty narcissist to start.
Right.
And they weren't going to become rich or have the lifestyle they want going the proper hard work way.
Right.
And once they got that, they got so sick with the with the lifestyle and the fakeness and so okay with it. And then when this reality show comes, they just lean in even more. And that's exactly what she did. And her crime is weird because I think there were so many people that were victims, but I think it's not a huge amount. That's just my understanding, just because we've never talked to a victim. So I'm thinking it's a lot of people for maybe a couple grand here,
it says
300 here.
However long she's been doing this. Who knows? I don't know how long she's been in this game.
Wait, I don't know if it says.
But it says that it's only $5 million in a telemarketing scam. In the grand scheme of things, $5 million.
But I think it's so many people.
It's so many people for small amounts is what you're saying, you think?
I just had a weird call today.
Oh, tell me.
So my son's in the room with me and the phone rings and it's a weird number and it says CPS something, but it's not an 818. It's something else. So I'm like, I got it. Somebody gonna be like, do you know this mother? And we're like, I don't know why I'm getting called. So what is this? CPS to me means Child Protective Services.
Correct.
So I press hello and the girl goes, hi, is this Heather? Can I speak to Heather? I'm like, yes. Who am I speaking to? Is this Heather Mcdonald? Yes, this is she. What are you calling about? Where are you calling from? And she goes, I'm calling from Collective Protection Services. Okay. We're attempting to collect a debt of $121. I'm like, what is it for? And she's not answering the questions. And I'm like, it's at VIP something urgent care. And I'm like, we never go to an urgent care. Like we just don't. My kids aren't sick much, or we go to the doctor. So I was like, what urgent care VIP? But I was like, I don't know. Maybe I forgot to. Maybe there was some bill I didn't get or something. So I'm like, well, what's the name on it? And she goes, Brandon, September of 2021. And I look at Drake, and we're like, and I'm thinking, okay, there was one time he got in a ski situation, but that he would have been skiing in September. So what was it? And then she goes, am I on speakerphone? I go, yeah. She goes, oh, you need to take me off speakerphone. I go, why? If you're going to record me for quality assurance, why can't I have you on speakerphone? I just have my son in the room. No, you need to take me off speakerphone. I go, well, I'm not. And then she hangs up.
She hung up?
So it was like a total scam.
Well, they usually are.
There was a total scam that I guess she would have thought I could record her, or my son said, I think it's because it's easier to like trick someone when they're by themselves. Mm-hmm. And so maybe she would have been like, give us your bank account or whatever. Because like the only time I've ever paid anything like that, like some medical bill or whatever, and it's like a low enough amount, I'm like, ugh, you know what? I'd just rather be done with it. So, but I give him a credit card. I would never give like a bank thing.
No.
And it turned out to be whatever. I paid this one thing I paid for. But like,
oh, so it was real?
No, before in the past.
Oh, okay.
Because it was about when I fell, and there was like one extra test, and I was like, literally for the time that it would take me to fight the one extra test, I just didn't want my credit to get fucked up.
Totally.
And I was like, and I just want this off my list of things to do and whatever. But I shouldn't have. Then Peter was like, no, you shouldn't have. That wasn't right. We didn't have to pay that. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. So I certainly wasn't going to pay this one. But that's what I imagined the operation she kind of ran. A lot of things like that.
Totally.
That it could be a span of things of just having people call and sucking money out of people. It wasn't $100,000. I don't know that it was ever like $100,000 for one person, but maybe it was like 20 or 30,000. And then I think old people are so embarrassed that they were taken, and so they came forward, but they didn't want to be part of the Hulu doc or anything because they didn't have one real victim of hers on the Hulu doc.
Yeah, I noticed that her Hulu doc was not as juicy as the Erika Jayne one.
Yeah,
like the Erika Jayne one hit different because they had real life victims that were talking.
Well, Erika Jayne, here we are in Beverly Hills. The earring thing, I'm still confused about.
I'm so lost with this.
So all of a sudden, they're like, the earrings are here. We're selling them. And they're actually 6 carats each, which is huge. But we're going to start the auction off at $300,000. Then Ron Richard goes, here are the facts. Erika claims under oath. Then they say, no, the earrings that got turned into the auction house are not the earrings that we're talking about that are worth $1.4, $750 each or whatever it is. There are these replacement earrings from a robbery. So tell me if you understand this. Here are the facts. 1, Erika claims under oath that she had a burglary in 2006. 2, Tom claims the franchise tax board that it was in fact 2007. Erika claims Tom bought her replacement earrings, so I guess they were stolen at that robbery, in 2007 under oath. The jeweler confirms this under oath. His invoice lists 2 2004 GIA certificates tied to the earrings he sold. The earrings Erika ultimately turned over to the trustee are not the same earrings on the invoice. The GIA certificates that were ordered in 2022 show that they are not the same diamonds. Erika, please explain what happened. I am sure there is a good explanation. What do you think? I don't know.
I'm so confused.
If one pair got stolen and this is the replacement, then this is the replacement, and she turned that in. Is she saying that they never really got stolen in 2000 and they want... She's saying they got stolen in 2006.
But Tom claims it was 2007.
Well, still he had Alzheimer's.
Right. It's like, does he have Alzheimer's or does he
not?
not?
Or 1 year off, or like being like, I don't know, was it December or was it February?
By the way, it all matters.
Yeah.
You better be spot on when you're going through something like this.
I don't know about these earrings.
I don't either. And at this point, it's like, when you take me down too many avenues, now I'm tired, whatever.
I just want you to know that William H. Macy, he went to a Homeless Not Toothless event, and I just thought that was nice. Also, I think Kathy Hilton had her big holiday party.
Were you
last
invited?
night. Nope. When I've DM'd her, I've asked Crystal, I looked her straight in the eye at BravoCon and said I would like to be invited back because I went like 10 years ago, but I think they expected me to perform and I didn't.
Well, are they going to pay you to perform?
Well, and I said I would perform.
For free?
For free, and I would do a very positive Kathy Hilton bit. But I didn't get invited to the pajama party, and doesn't look like I got invited to this. But maybe this was a smaller dinner party.
It looks intimate.
Maybe this was from Thanksgiving, and she just posted it now. Let's pray.
It 100% was.
Okay. Potomac, apparently, Mia has quit after
Why?
getting it. She got in a physical fight with Wendy, and she basically said, I did my job. I started some shit. She was bugging her about this dumb argument that I explained on the previous episode. It was dumb. And then she threw a drink at Wendy.
Okay.
And then they got up, and security had to get in between. And she Mia since said, I take full responsibility. I shouldn't have gotten physical, but I thought I was doing my job. But now the more I think about it, I don't even think I want to be on this show. I don't want to be on the show anymore. But
wait, she said getting physical, I thought I was doing my job.
No, starting the fight.
Oh.
Like starting the fight and all this stuff. Like I thought starting drama on a, like doing poking and like starting an argument, which without saying it, I would never bother to do in real life, right?
Right.
And, but in watching it and everything, and she's a mom, and she and her husband own all these joint chiropractic places, she's like, I'm out. But we haven't even had like the reunion, so I don't know that she's really quitting, but she stated that she was.
Okay, so is it about them coming for her over the cancer? Is that why the fight happened?
No, it had nothing to do with the cancer.
Okay.
It had to do with Cynthia Bailey's former husband, Peter,
right,
was going to start a Nigerian lounge with this girl,
with
Wendy.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Peter told Mia that Wendy's like not answering his proposal. And so then Wendy started to give her shit. Mia started to give Wendy shit about like not following up with Peter. And then Wendy was like, I don't need to talk to Peter. Like, when my husband's not around, like, I'm not fucking him, are you? And then it like started a whole, and then she's like, you and your husband sleep with men and women, and you're like kind of insinuating they're swingers. And then it got physical, and then the drink went. I thought they both came off horribly. And I thought that Wendy, being a professor, that it was worse that Wendy even engaged at all. Though Mia was the instigator. I thought it was worse that Wendy engaged.
If you have a job like Wendy,
a professor.
You're a professor. They feature what on like CNN and things like that?
She's a correspondent.
Why are you doing Housewives?
Because it's a lot more fun and a lot more money than being a professor and going on CNN for free. That is why.
Okay, so then you need to just give up that.
That's why she's trying to do 3 wick candles and open a Nigerian nightclub that's a library for kids in the day. That's her plan.
Stay being a professor. That's what I think.
If they keep her. Okay, Porsha got married.
Yes, Porsha.
She got married to her co-star's ex-husband. Remember that girl? She was like on one little bit.
Yep, I remember.
He is also Nigerian. So first they had like a wedding with Nigerian like outfits, and she's in this red dress. She looks really pretty. And then
they did one in Atlanta.
Oh wait, where's the one with her? Can you find her wedding dress? Yeah. There's a white wedding dress was great. And the people that went was let me see who we know. Quad from Married to Medicine, and
I know Carly
Basketball Wives, Jennifer Williams.
I know her.
T.I. and Tiny went. Kim Zolciak, Candy and Drew from Atlanta, Cynthia Bailey, they all went. Let me see who else. And so the wedding was on Friday morning. So the wedding was Saturday. So she's saying all the stuff that she did. And I want to show you the wedding dress because she had the one outfit. I don't know if they got married like the same weekend or what, but it was pretty extravagant. So
good.
I mean, she looks like a doll. She looks like a doll on top of a wedding cake. It's so big. And she has a big, big headdress. And then he's dressed in looks like he's a prince.
But I believe
is he some royalty in Nigeria actually, or South Africa?
I know that they had their first wedding, and then this one was in Atlanta, but they still stuck to his Nigerian roots, which I thought was like, I'm obsessed. I think it's spectacular.
I think they actually look really great.
I mean,
it's a very
could
big dress that I think would be very uncomfortable, but good for her. She looks like a princess.
But
That's
I think
what she
if you're going to
wanted.
do it, you've got to do it big. Like, if you're going to go there, same with Teresa. Like, her hair, it's
Yeah.
like, if you're going to do it, you better do it, bitch.
And then just embrace it.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, let's see if there's anything else to discuss with you, girl.
I have zero desire to have a wedding ever.
Really?
Oh,
Well,
my God.
This will keep you from wanting one.
Okay, tell me.
You know Valerie Bertinelli.
Of course.
Okay, so she got married to this guy after Eddie Van Halen, and she has agreed to pay him $2.2 million as
Fuck
part
off.
of the divorce proceedings.
Fuck off.
And it was hard to get him out of the house, and they have been together quite a while. I think they got married in like 2006, 2007, but still. And that was with a prenup. She had to pay that much.
Yeah, but prenups really don't, like, if you sign a prenup at the very beginning and the blood is good, it doesn't matter if it's 40 years later where there's bad blood. If you don't like it, you just take them to court. You're like, I don't like this anymore, so I'm going to have a judge rule on it, and here's why. And then you still have to present your case on why you don't think that prenup
Is valid?
Yes!
Yeah.
I just don't want any of it.
Okay, also, I commented, this is from Best of Bravo, and I commented on something I got a lot of hate for.
Hold on. This is everything to me. He who must not be named. Who is that?
Okay, so this is Ray Fiennes, the actor, and he was on Watch What Happens Live, and they had him do a dramatic reading of when Lisa Barlow's mic was on, and she said all this awful stuff about, and I said, so it was like you and your family and your poser family, and she calls her a whore and all that stuff, right? And I said, it kind of makes it less funny and really gross to me that it was all said on TV. And everyone's like, shut up, go to sleep, Heather. It's fucking hilarious. What's wrong with you? When did you become a wet blanket? And I think it was hearing a man read the words like you're a whore. And like he did it really slowly. And it was like an older man saying the words that she said as she was like frustrated and wasn't on camera, and the mic was on her back, and she was like, oh, I'm so fucking sick.
And it was a rant.
It was a rant. And she's like, I'm so fucking sick of my friend, and, you know, and said all that.
And he read it all slow.
And then they had him read like a dramatic reading of it. And I get what I say to people, what I've been trying to say is that as someone who has loved Bravo, especially Housewives, I love it because I'm a mom, I'm married, I'm of that age. I can relate to the women. I've, had a fight with a sister-in-law or a sister. I've, weddings. And I just think that's why I have a show that talks about it.
Right.
And I think there's so many people that talk about it now, which is fine. But sometimes when we involve then like a man giving their opinion about it,
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Shut
it's
up.
like
Yeah.
And then to hear him say it using those words like whore and stuff, that's where I was coming from. I was like,
you're entitled to think it was not funny, just like they're entitled to think it is funny.
yeah,
so
totally.
It's
Totally.
just,
Some people go, hey, it's an iconic part, and that's fine. And I go, that's fine. But there's just part of me sometimes where I'm like, she tore apart her family, and who she was and her family and what the husband did as a business and how they led their marriage. And I like Lisa Barlow, and I really don't believe that she ever intended that to make air. And so like I kind of feel for her too. And now she's embracing it and like loving it, I guess, kind of the way Teresa embraced her flip of the table. And I obviously love talking about it, and I make a living off talking about it. But there's some times where I'm like, ooh, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, guess what? There just are some things that are not meant for other people's ears. And unfortunately, Barlow was mic'd during that. But let's not pretend like all of us have not had a moment where we're in a safe space saying horrific things about people that we actually really do like and love. But it's like, I need to have a verbal purging and like assassination of this person.
Right.
So to just like bring it back up and have a dude read it in a well thought out way is just, because what Barlow said was like pretty bad. Did you see it, Jess? It's really crazy. No, I'm on your team. Sister Wives.
I will end on Sister Wives of what the latest is.
Who's
Obsessed
this one
with the
standing?
show.
I love her, but who's this one like?
Christine.
Yeah.
She's left. She's left.
She's the one that
she
left.
left Flagstaff,
Moved to
Arizona,
Utah.
and moved to Utah where she has some adult kids and left with her 11-year-old daughter.
Okay.
She said that she and Kody have not had a romantic whatever. They haven't fucked. Let's just say that. I don't think they fucked since she got pregnant with the 11-year-old.
Okay.
Because she said it was over 10 years and the kid's 11. And I remember a scene from the show has done 17 seasons.
That's
and
insane.
they don't have a pot to piss in.
Didn't
They literally have no money. I don't understand how little TLC is paying them. I don't get. They're the poorest reality stars I've ever seen in my life.
That is heartbreaking.
I mean, like, so, or Kody just doesn't know how to manage money. Or both. But Kody was with Robin, and they hadn't gotten married yet. And he went over
Is
to
Robin
Robin's
the one
house.
closest to him?
Yeah, she's the one that
The main.
Yes, and they have little kids.
She's the newest, though.
Yes, she's the newest. They have a a 8 and 6-year-old together.
Okay.
And then she brought 3 other kids into the marriage. So anyway, he lives with her, and he always goes, I have to be with her because she has little kids and because of COVID. And he talked about COVID for 3 years. He couldn't see anybody else or fuck anybody else because of COVID. But then, and he said, Robin's the only one that follows the rules of COVID. But then he went and went to his friend's wedding in which he administered or whatever, officiated.
Yeah.
So anyway, he one time when she was giving birth to Truly, the 11-year-old Christine, who's now gone, the cameras followed him and he stopped by Robin's house and she was like, wait. And they hadn't got married yet, but they had like a romantic kiss. Okay. And he looks at the cameras and he's like, God, don't show me kissing my girlfriend when I'm going to, my other wife's place to have a baby.
To have a baby?
Yes, she was giving birth. He was kissing Robin goodbye to go be by Christine's side for the birth of Truly, their youngest kid.
Okay.
So I think that after that, they were never romantic. Janelle, it appears that Janelle has already left.
Okay.
And they're trying to not show that Janelle has already left. She's the one in the orange.
Janelle, and then who's that again?
Christine,
they're very close, right?
Yes.
They're like besties. Mm-hmm. I thought the one in the middle in the green shirt had left a long time ago.
She only has one child, Mary, and she won't leave the marriage. She won't. She has her own house, her own big house by herself because her one child is an adult.
Okay.
And she also has a Airbnb, but I don't know if their money together paid for that or not. But she has an Airbnb with her mom who died at some small city in Utah. And she was posting on her social media, come to a women empowerment weekend where we're going to go on hikes and have food and have a campfire. And it's $45,000 to $6,000 for the weekend. And I'm obsessed with who would win. Did anyone go? It's been revealed that apparently nobody paid for it, and she had to have people on her LuLaRoe team, where she sells leggings, come on it, and they are the ones that were featured in the photos. I think she did it to try to find another sister wife.
Oh, you do?
Because they have 4 lots right now cut up for Coyote Pass where they have no money to build or anything. This area that they're all going to build together. And he goes, well, we want to make a 5th lot. He always said, I want to make a 5th lot. So people are always like, we're trying to get a 5th wife. I don't know. The show's going to continue though.
You think?
Yeah. Even if they have to have 3 different crews at 3 different locations. Yeah. Because everyone wants to know what's happening with Christine. Janelle has had it. And next week he's like, you and I have not had a real relationship for years, he says to Janelle. Because Janelle got a trailer and she lives on Coyote Pass. Again, imagine being a star you've been a star for a long time, but of a show for 17 years, 17 seasons, and you're living on a trailer where you don't even have water. She has to go over to Christine's house and fill buckets of water to take back to her trailer.
I can't imagine.
For she and her daughter.
I can't imagine why no one came to your female empowerment. Like, just if this is what you're exposing yourself to.
Yeah, and then Janelle.
I just don't know that I would want any of these women to teach me about female empowerment. Except for the woman on the end who is going to Utah and saying, Bye.
And then Janelle took all her proceeds from her house that she sold in Vegas and gave it to Kody and Robin. And
Who already have a house?
To buy in Flagstaff. So they own a house. Only Kody and Robin are on the title. She gave all her money to them to buy that house while she rented. Then she got rid of her rental and bought a trailer to live on the property, which she's miserable. This one, Mary, also sold her Vegas house and gave all the profits to Robin and Mary, and she rents. So if the show ends, they really are going to have no money to live.
I would love to know what TLC's paying them. Like, if they do episodic.
Why don't you guess? I think that each girl, I think the kids get nothing.
Yeah, the kids
and
get
I
nothing.
think that maybe he gets the most.
Yes.
And I think maybe they each get literally like $5,000 an ep, and there's 13 episodes a season.
Oh, there's only 13 episodes
I'm just guessing.
season?
Something like that. I'm just saying, I bet it's like that low.
Yeah.
And I bet it, when like every time you do a contract, it's like, and then there's a 3% raise. And then I think they probably never fought for more of a raise. I think they're literally like the first year they probably got $1,000 an episode, and now they're maybe getting $5,000. That is my prediction.
I kind of think it's a flat rate. I don't think it's episodic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's a flat rate.
If someone knows and works at TLC, you can DM me and give me the information or email me.
I feel like where they live, if they're making that kind of money, each of them, I just feel like they would have a pot to piss in. Because didn't you say they don't even have that? I mean, that one doesn't even have water.
Because they gave their money to Robin and Kody, and I think Robin and Kody are hoarding all the money.
All right. Well, if you go and do things like that, I just can't help you.
That's what they were told, because it was going to be a polygamous family for the end, till the end of time.
If there's anything I've learned in the shit storm that is my life, don't trust anybody. Nobody.
Got it.
Especially a man that you're fucking. Those are the ones you shouldn't trust at all.
Well,
Am I scarred or am I scarred?
I have one horrible story. I have one horrible story for you to end on. This poor woman, she was 51, and she was so excited to meet a doctor online.
Okay.
And she told her niece about it, and she goes, I'm going to Lima to meet him. And then she's like, it's not working out, I'm coming back, but she never came back.
Yeah.
So the niece put it on Twitter, please help me find my aunt. She's a beautiful woman. They talked to the guy, and he goes, oh, we broke up. I couldn't give her what she wanted. And then a finger came up on the shore with her ring on it. And then the rest of her did, except all the organs were taken.
Black market?
Yeah. So they arrested him, but he was... So now, you thought it was bad enough that a dirty John maybe just wanted to fuck you or move in or maybe steal some of your money. Now they want your organs. That's how bad it is out there being single.
Okay, so when people are like, why don't you ever leave your four walls that are your home? This is why. I'm telling you.
Because you want to keep your kidney?
I want to keep my kidney. I want to keep my money. I want to keep it all. Okay?
Ugh.
I want to keep this STD-free punani. Like, y'all are fucked up in this world, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Lala, tell everybody it's the holidays, and you have a Give Them Lala Baby clothing line. You have a bunch of makeup that I love. Tell everybody what you got going on.
You can get my beauty and skin at givethemlala.com, and if you have a little one, we have sizes 0 to 5T at givethemlalababy.com.
And your podcast?
My podcast, you can get wherever you listen to your podcast. That's also Give Them Lala. If you want anything that's me, it's Give Them Lala.
And when does the show begin airing? You're done filming?
Vanderpump?
Yes.
I've been told the new year. Like, they haven't given me a specific date, but like pretty fresh into the new year.
Well, invite me to the premiere party.
Done.
If there's a premiere party and people start seeing it that night and you forgot to invite me.
I invite you everywhere.
I'm not going to feel sorry for...
I even invited you to Disney.
I'm just letting you know, I'm not going to feel sorry for the wrath that you will get. So if there's some type of party that you can invite me to...
Yes.
that
You'd appreciate it.
I would just appreciate the invite.
All
'Cause
right.
I love all the Vanderpump.
I'm not trying to
people.
get dragged on Juicy Scoop. So yes,
No,
you'll be
I have a
invited.
beehive that I never even wanted. Like people, they come after people, and then I'm like, I did not release it. I did not release the hive.
I invite you to everything.
I know. So I'm
So
just
yes, I
warning
will.
you.
I'll do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.